Hey everyone, in this video, we're going to be talking about setting up the structure for your e-commerce business, your banking needs, and your social media advertising accounts. Before we get started, a quick disclaimer. I am not a lawyer or an accountant. No information in this program is official legal or tax advice. It's also not a replacement for official legal or tax advice. If that's what you're looking for, you need to consult an accredited professional lawyer or accountant. I am only sharing my personal experience with what I've done as a business owner regarding my own businesses. Okay, the first topic we'll talk about is your corporation structure. If you just start making sales without setting up any business structure, you'd technically be operating as a sole proprietor or sole trader. That means there is no legal distinction between you and your company. Any debt would then extend to your personal assets, such as your home or your car. In addition, any profit you make will be taxed at the personal income level, which is generally much higher than at the corporate level. So just by looking at that, you can already see the advantages of setting up a separate legal entity. Since there is a legal distinction between you and your business, your personal assets would generally be protected and the tax you'd pay would be at the lower corporate tax rate. Those benefits are why I set up a corporation before operating my business. With that being said, you don't have to open a separate legal entity to get started. In fact, what most people do is they just start off as a sole proprietor until they get sales coming in. That's the point they start their separate legal entity. If you choose to do this, just enter in your individual information instead of your business information when you open your Shopify store, and you'll understand what I mean once you start building your website. For those of you who are absolutely serious about this, you can just open a separate legal entity right now because you'll eventually need it anyway, but just know that a lot of people choose to delay this until they start getting sales. It's really up to you. If you decide to open a separate legal entity right away, then here's what you'll do. You have several options on which structure you want to open. For me in Canada, I found that a corporation was the best option. If you're in the USA, I know a lot of people in e-commerce set up an LLC. But do your own research based on what you want and where you live. Setting up an LLC or corporation is pretty simple. For people in the USA, you can find a company that sets up everything you need for you. I'll leave a link below as well as in the Discord you can go to. When you're picking this, just pick your own state. If you're in the USA, I think that's the easiest. But if you're a non-resident, I think the best state with the lowest fees are Delaware, Wyoming, and New Mexico. But do your own research because I haven't opened an LLC in the USA since I have a Canadian corporation. And then after you pick that, you just pick the plan you want. I find that the gold option is sufficient when you're first starting off because it comes with the EIN, which is technically free, but to get it yourself, you have to fill out a form and then maybe even fax the IRS. So if you want to save money, then go ahead and go with the cheapest plan and then just search up on YouTube how to get your EIN for free. But if you don't want to deal with that, then just pick the gold plan and the company will give you the EIN along with your LLC. After that, just enter in all of your info. If you're in Canada, just go to the government website and you can incorporate from there. When you're first picking your name for your corporation, you can just pick a general name that doesn't really relate to any specific product for now. And then once your store starts to take off, you can then apply for a doing business as name. For example, I could make my legal business name Kevin Ecom Store Incorporated. And then later on in the program, let's say I start selling beauty products. I can then apply for a doing business as name like Kevin Beauty Store that is operated by Kevin Ecom Store Incorporated. In some places, you can even have multiple doing business as names under the one main business entity. So you don't have to spend too much time thinking about a name for now because normally the corporation name, your customers aren't even going to see it after you apply for a doing business as name. Next, let's talk about banking for your business. If you're starting as a sole proprietor, you can open a separate bank account under your personal name to keep your business and personal expenses separated, or you can just use whatever card and bank account you're currently personally using and just keep track of all your business expenses yourself manually. And then for those of you who want to open a separate legal entity, here's what you're going to do for your business banking. In some cases, you'll be offered a bank account along with setting up your LLC. If that's not the case like in Canada, then you can set it up with a bank. It's a pretty simple process. Just go to your bank and tell them you want to set up the following things for your business. Number 1 is a checking account. Number 2 is a credit card. And if you're from any country outside of the USA, you'll also need the following: a US dollar-based checking account and a US dollar-based credit card. They're going to require your articles of incorporation, so you can only do this after you have the business structure set up. Once you get your credit card, you're going to want to put every single business expense on it. A business expense is an expense that you need for your business to operate. This could be things like running paid ads, buying the cost of goods, or anything like that. The reason you want to use your credit card is because you're going to be getting a ton of points as opposed to using a debit card, which can then be redeemed for travel and even Amazon gift cards. Depending on how many points you rack up, you can fund all of your flights, hotels with Peerly points. Just make sure you pay off the credit card in full every month so you don't have to pay any interest. Finally, open up a PayPal business account. This way, you can accept PayPal payments from customers on your website. Just note that this is completely optional. Personally, I like PayPal. I've been using it without issues for years now, but if you don't want to set this up, then that's okay too. I know a lot of people running huge stores without PayPal, and it works just fine. It's really easy to do. Just go to the link below and open an account. You can easily move money from your PayPal balance to your bank if you need to. If you're outside the USA, you might also want to open a Wise account. This will allow you to quickly and cheaply convert your store income from USD to your local currency in case you need to pay yourself or if you have any expenses in your local currency. And that's everything you'll need to know about paying for expenses and receiving payments for your business. The last thing we want to do is set up our social media business accounts. We want to do this now, even though we're not going to be using them for a while to advertise, because we want them a little bit aged before we start. If the account is too fresh when you start advertising, it can be a red flag in Facebook's eyes. It's really easy to do. Just follow the links below and create your business Facebook account and business TikTok account. That's all you have to do. Just make the account and leave it there until we'll use them later. And that's it. After finishing everything in this video, you should be ready to get started on your e-commerce store. That's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.